welcome to the Chelsea FanCast, powered by Guinness, fueled by celery, or is it the other way around? Yeah, powered by celery, fueled by Guinness. I'm not Stamford Chidge, as you can see. I'm Jonathan Kydd. I have the fabulous Sophie with me here. The fabulous Dr. Mart here.
Good evening.
Hey, Seb.
Good evening.
Dazza.
Good evening.
Unfortunately, we can't go to the benches because we're having great technical difficulties, but we may be able to later on. And however, Dan is here, and Andy is here, and Harry is here, and April is here, and we're waiting for the gaffer to get here. We hope he'll be here, but we're not sure when he'll be here because possibly he's still an hour behind because of the clocks. But who knows when or if he will actually turn up.
I don't think he's going to make
We'll
it.
muddle through without him, shall we?
Yeah, I think let's have a go without him. So, as you can see, it's not Chidge. It's me, the young Jonathan Kydd, or John Kydd, as I've been referred to earlier, and anybody who does it again, Dazza, I will be killing them.
Not Johnny Kydd.
So we're not Johnny Kydd and the Pirates.
Not with the Pirates.
No, not with the Pirates. So I apologise in advance if I'm caught short, as I was in the last period, but Sophie will take over, won't you, Sophie, if I have to leap off?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I can lean back a little bit, Ross is telling me. Thank you, Ross, I shall. How about this far?
You're making me look
Is
really
that
big.
too relaxed, do you think, everybody? No. Okay, possibly, yeah. So, anyway, yeah, I've done that. Joining me tonight, yes, Mart, Daz, I've done all that, yeah, okay. The Chidget herself, I've done that. I've done that bit as well. And of course, Ross Mooring in my ear, producing. Say hello, Ross. He said good evening, which I thought was pretty good of him. Looking forward to a great, what's the word? Show. Looking forward to a great show. Good stuff. Me too, so am I. So, Sophie, cue you.
If you want to be on the benches, send us an email to chelseafancast@gmail.com.
Hey.
.com.
.com.
Not .co.uk.
Not .co.uk.
.com.
.com.
Chelsea
Can we
Fancast.
do that together?
.com.
Good, that's okay, good. So, on the show tonight, Ross's ratings for Man Utd and Maribor games. Fanny's from Man Utd and Maribor games. Man of the match, chant of the match, celery and Guinness moments, and you have precisely 30 minutes to get your vote in for them here. There they are, look, came up like magic.
Wait for me.
We'll be having a chat about the Man Utd and Maribor games. Later on, we'll have some Chelsea Chadar stats and the latest Chelsea supporter news. I will be talking about Ron Gourlay and the origin of the Rabona, and possibly nutmeg, but I may not get round to that.
What's it called? What's the title?
What's the oh, indeed, the title. The title of the show is utterly peculiarly, I don't get this, Chelsea Decaffeinated.
Dr. Mart, do you have an explanation?
But do you have a view on this?
I mean, apart
Dr.
from the
Mart?
coffee that's not really coffee,
Yeah,
in fact, you might as well just drink water.
yeah. That would be
there was
Chelsea,
also-
Chelsea Water Eye.
There was also, at the very end of one of the Lethal Weapon films,
Yeah.
the bad guy got, I can't remember, no, he wasn't shot, he was squashed under a container full of money that landed on him.
Fantastic memory you
when
have.
they asked,
Like an episode of CSI, by the
asked
way.
Danny Glover, you know, where's the bad guy? And he says he's been decaffeinated.
Yeah. So
It
in
was
other
South
words,
African chap.
it's been decaffeinated.
Yes.
Like that.
So I don't know if that's where Chidge
We're gonna
invented
need to-
this
we're gonna need to
reference.
We got this
Sure.
from.
Shall
So
we?
he's talking about what Maribor being decaffeinated, but then what about United? They weren't
I think he just
decaffeinated.
was talking about just Man United.
You reckon it's just Man United?
Chidge, if you're listening in the next 2 hours, can you clear it up for us, please?
Yeah, if you could possibly. Yeah, yeah.
Or better still, the next 2 minutes, really.
So Sophie, could you read out the next bit, please? It says, Sophie, and don't forget, you could also tweet at Chelsea Fan. Oh,
Can you
I'll
read
take
it like
over
that?
this. No, that's not polite. And don't forget, you can also tweet Chelsea Fancast or post on the live chat page on Mixlr during the show to tell us what you think about the games and anything else on Chelsea.
but there was no Mixlr though.
No, there is no Mixlr tonight, so don't do that.
Yeah,
Let's
so don't
hope
do
it
that.
comes up in the next.
Just tweet me. Mixlr's not working. Just tweet me.
Okay, good, good.
I'll pass you back to Jonathan now.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you, Sophie.
Back to the studio.
So, back to the studio. So, Ross's ratings, Crystal Palace versus Chelsea. No! Written here. Chidge, come on. Ross's ratings. Here we are. Let's have a look at them. Can we look at them up here? Excellent, excellent. Now, I normally get fed up if anybody who watches this regularly because of the fact there are lots of sixes. But today, there are very few sixes, and I think the sixes are well applied. Poor old Branner, who was a bit under the cosh. They seem to be very good. I think we've been found out slightly by this business of booting the ball down into the corner and running after it, which seems to be an unbelievably ancient ploy, but we seem to be getting a bit upset by it. But I'm being told to do the ratings and not give my opinion here. But that's very, very fair enough, I think. Good. Yes. So, Courtois 8, Luis 7, Cahill 7, Terry 7, Ivanovic 6, Matic 8, Fabregas 6, Hazard 8, Oscar 6, Willian 6, Drogba 7. Subs, Mikel 6, and Schürrle and Zuma haven't qualified. And what do we think, boys, about the ratings?
Scored down a bit because he got 2 very flaky yellow cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I
He's
think
doing
he was
great
better
before
than
then.
that. He was
Yeah.
good going
Yeah,
forward, and
he
he was
was.
pretty solid at the back as well.
Yeah.
I'd say
And
worth
I think they're very good at going down, aren't they? Those
Yeah.
both Di Maria and
Not
what's
like
his
the big
name?
shot.
Yeah.
He kept Di Maria quite quiet for most of the game, I thought. But obviously, it's when it mattered.
He wasn't on the pitch.
Yeah, when it really mattered. But
What do you think, Dazza?
I think, probably about right. I suppose I don't think Willian had the best of games. I thought he was quite quiet, and I think most of it was okay. Ivanovic,
He wasn't as buzzy as he normally is, was he?
No,
Willian?
I mean the only thing really Ivanovic was he didn't do that much wrong really for that second one. He just sort of had his hand out in a funny sort of way. He didn't really do much to Di Maria. He sort of did it to himself. But without that, I don't think Ivanovic would have got a 6. I think he'd have got a 7, and he was unlucky.
Yeah.
Obviously, he was clearly getting pulled for the penalty, and I don't think he had a bad game. That when he bombed on through and then whacked it off for a throw-in.
Matic did well, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, he was
Very
really
well.
good. He was great. Fired past everyone, didn't he?
Benches, what do we think?
Amazing.
What do we think of those ratings?
Yeah, I generally agree. I think Fabregas had his poorest game since he's come to us. I think United did well to nullify him. But generally, I think ratings are pretty fair. Good job, Ross.
On the Matic side, I'd only say, John, that he did take...
No, not John, never John.
Jonathan.
Jonathan.
Sorry,
Only Jonathan.
Yeah, only Jonathan ever. I have to kill you if you call me John.
sorry, Mr. Kydd.
Or Kydd, thank you.
That's nice, yeah.
When
you.
Matt,
Oh.
you're doing a
unfair.
chish now. Let's not go off in tangents,
Well,
please.
we have, but it's a name tangent. I'm allowed
it must
to.
be the
It's getting
secret
my name
of that.
wrong.
He had 3 free kicks he gave away, Matic. Then he got booked, and then he calmed down and sorted himself out. But I think he needed... As soon as he got booked, he sort of knew he had to stop making stupid fouls. So he got better after like 20 minutes.
Yes. It was. I mean, Hazard was obviously our best player. I thought, particularly in the second half, and we were a much better team in the second half. I don't know. I always wonder what Mourinho actually says to the team after the first half. You see him looking, and you think, well, what's he assessing here? What's going to happen in the second half? And they always seem to come out playing differently and then better. Always that's the impression I get watching them.
I don't know. I mean, for a start's sake, with Hazard, the difference between him and Di Maria is he was getting a free kick to Hazard, but he just stopped playing. He should really play to whistle a bit more, I think. So when he went down one time, he didn't get anything, but he just...
Well, if you looked at the replay, in fact, he was still hit. You know,
I'm
he's
not
always.
saying he wasn't.
I don't think he ever falls over. I don't.
No, I
he's
agree. I
always
agree.
seems to
Far
be.
from it, yeah,
I
he
almost
does.
think from his mentality is such that he gets the ball and he gets fouled and he falls over. The referee doesn't give it. What's the referee seen?
Yeah, he seems to stop instead of making...
Anyway, I've got to move on, according to Ross. Ross said, "Move on, move on." So I'm a bit red in the face here. I am a bit actually. Anyway, never mind. Should have had makeup. There isn't any. How do we think Drogba did?
superb.
Oh, it's his
Yeah.
best game
Good.
since he's come back.
Was,
that's
wasn't
for
it?
sure, yeah.
Wasn't it?
And wasn't that header incredibly reminiscent
yeah.
of
Oh.
Munich? Other side of
Oh.
the pitch, but
Oh.
Are we going to replay this in a minute for the Maribor when we say his penalty is incredibly reminiscent?
Yeah, it was. They both. Actually, I think he hit the penalty harder in the Maribor game than he did in the final. But yeah, I'm afraid, pathetically, I cried on Sunday when he scored. It was too much for me. I can't. I find it's just because the Champions League was one of the best.
yeah.
You know,
Great
I think
ever,
everyone will
ever
agree with
for,
that.
Sporting events
supporters.
ever.
Yeah, for us as Chelsea fans. So to actually see him scoring again, particularly because he's been so bad this season.
I watched it in quite a quiet pub in Henley, and when that header went in, I went absolutely mental.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Benches, what did you do? Did you go mad?
I was over the moon. I had him first goal scorer
Andy,
as well.
can you go mad in your state?
Yeah, I tried to leap, but it didn't work. But yeah, I got rather excited. Yeah.
Harry, what did you do? Went mental. What
Just
exactly
like
do you do, Harry, when you go mental?
Whoop, whoop. I know.
Whoop, whoop. Only a few seconds left. April, what did you do? What? You went yay. Okay, that's good. That's good. Good. Thank you. Well, we're carrying all this on after the break, and I'll try and be less red in the face, I think. Good.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm copying my poppy here. Look at that. Anyway, yeah. See you in a min. Yay!